Well, good morning. It is September 14th. We have a pretty busy day ahead of us. We are planning on driving up over Bear Creek Pass and then on up to the top of Antelope Pass. Antelope Pass is, in my opinion, one of the prettiest and most epic views available of any of the trails or roads I've been on. So first things first, I gotta start cooking down a squash soup. I'll get all the ingredients cut up and the soup started before we leave, and we'll finish it up when we get back. We'll see you up there at the trail. Well, to start out on the squash soup, I'm just frying up a bunch of bacon. This is all going to go in that soup. Give it that nice bacon flavor that everybody craves. It might, it just might mask the bad taste if there is any. Because this is not I've never made this before. Just one of them things that come to mind with all this squash left over is let's make a soup on a nice fall day. So we'll let this cook down while I drink a cup of coffee, and we'll proceed on down to the next step. Yeah, we gotta cut up a couple onions. These are all onions I grew again. I'm not sure the variety. I do know that this little red onion here is probably one of the sweetest onions I've ever ate. The sweetest and probably the mildest. This thing is just an awesome little onion. If I can get this old layer off of there. It wants to cling on. There we go. Yeah, I'm not gonna say I don't know the name of it, but it is a gorgeous onion. And we're just gonna rough cut these up. And these will go in the pot in that bacon grease and get nice and fried up. Now the second onion I'm using is I believe this is a sweet Spanish. But I can't really be sure. I planted so many of them. They're different varieties that hard to keep track of what's what. So we'll do the same with this one and get it in the pot. Well, the next ingredient's just a big carrot out of the garden. We'll get it cut up and diced up and throw it in the pot. I'm not no chef with the special knife skills they possess. Well, that's good enough for me. Well, next ingredient, of course, is squash, and you got to peel it. It's about like flint napping. dice it up, get it in with that stock, and we're one step closer to having some squash soup on a cold day. Well, you can see what it looks like. I'm just going to break up this bacon. Got a real crunchy one there. And our next ingredients, well, just some chicken stock, bone broth. You know, I have no list of ingredients or amounts. Man, we're camp cooking. Just follow your instincts and it'll usually turn out. Well, after this cooks down, the next step is to puree it. That I haven't got figured out yet. I don't have a immersion blender or nothing else here. So we just do our best with, I guess, a big fork, a spoon, and a whisk. Well, time to put the lid on and let her simmer down. Well, guys, while I was in there making that soup base, Shane brought me over a big old plate of breakfast. That's one of the things about camping. Man, it seems like you eat a lot of food. Especially when you're with someone else. You know, when it's just me, we don't eat quite this good. But let me show you what this breakfast looks like that he cooked me. And we got hash browns, some eggs, bacon. I gotta put my homemade hot sauce on it. And a good old cup of coffee. I think we'll be set till dinner time. Okay, go down the bottom, Bambi, and at least the wind won't be blowing down there. And we'll stop at the creek.
How does that sound?
Yeah, this is windy up here.
Yeah.
How about it, girl? Did you get you a drink, Bambi? Huh? Did you get you a drink? Kind of in a cute little meadow here that makes for a nice resting spot. Unless the cows have just been in it. Looks like from the sign that they've been gone for a while, so we don't got to watch where you step. But the leaves have not changed here either. They're running a little late this year. Well, these are wild rose hips. They got a lot of vitamin C in them. They don't taste too bad, but boy, they got a lot of seeds in them. Coming through the brush, he looks like a little bear at times. Look like a little bear, Suki. Yeah, and what a nice little cool place. Boy, there's rose hips everywhere. Got a sweet, soury taste, but it sure tastes good in the fall.
They probably got to drive as fast as they can so they can get to Popper Basin side and then turn around and come back as fast as they can.
doesn't know what road to go down. There she's going down the other way. Well, this is the top of Antelope Pass, 8,984 feet. Yeah, that road down there looks like a malaria germ is the way you get up here. And I got Goofy Suki trying to fall off. Come on, you two. Yeah, you can see a long ways. What do you think, Bambi? Huh? What do you think? Is it too high up here for you? Huh? Well, that side of the pass goes down into Copper Basin, then Star Hope and Wild Horse and Phi Kappa. Country we were in earlier this year. Yeah, it's quite the view. Well, there goes Kelly and Shane. Yeah, we finally got some color to a few trees on this pass. Yeah, we got that little pond deer. Came around the corner and there was a doe with 3 fawns there. Kind of neat looking. Well, we're back to the soup. I'm gonna add some coconut milk. Well, if you're making this the proper way, it'll all be pureed. So I don't got a blender here. I've added a little bit of cinnamon and some cumin and garlic and some salt. I don't have pepper. I thought I did, or I'd put that in there too. But we'll let this cook away and keep mashing it till we get it as close to a puree as I can. Well, there's the finished product. We'll see how it tastes. Well, for the taste test, here we go. Really good. Really good. What do you think, Kelly?
That's a 10 out of 10.
Well, this video's got to come to an end. It's just so dang cold and windy tonight. There will be no evening drive. We did have that surprisingly good squash soup. Man, I'm gonna make that more often. Yeah, that was really, really good. Well, we went up to Antelope Pass, and then, well, the clouds moved in and the cold wind, the wind's really blowing. But if you liked what you seen today, give me a thumbs up, comment, and share if you would. And until next time, see you later.